Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Welcome to the channel, everyone. This video today is 180 from a frauditor video. It's more about police and government corruption. I started watching frauditor videos because I had watched a lot of civil rights videos, bad government, bad cops. And the reason I started covering the frauditor videos, it was because the way these First Amendment auditors went about their business, and that it wasn't really because they were activists. It was more for clicks and views and, you know, YouTube credibility and their egos, and most of them have criminal records like Ass Elmo. But I want you all to check out the civil rights lawyer. Go by, give him some love, subscribe. He posts some really good stuff, and I'm going to cover a few of his cases. This particular case is an elderly couple sitting on their front porch, and you'll see how this goes down and how the cops that pull up, just how they escalate and treat these folks for standing up for their rights. So you know, like, subscribe, dislike, comment, all that good stuff. But sit back, enjoy this, and we'll talk here in just a little bit. Oh yeah, and this is over 4 scraggly marijuana plants that happen to be growing somewhere near this couple's house. Enjoy.
To say somebody scared you because I asked you a question is ridiculous.
That's preposterous.
You're going to give me that.
Wait.
Okay.
It's ridiculous to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's not ridiculous
Your
over
first
here.
name.
I'm not giving you my information.
Sir, if you refuse to give me your information, I'm going to arrest you.
That's fine. My property has nothing to do with any marijuana whatsoever.
Jason Tart, what is your date of birth? I'm going to arrest you if you don't give me your name and date of birth.
What you're about to see here is outrageous body cam footage that has never been seen before by anyone outside of law enforcement. It shows what happened to my clients, Jason Tart, the property owner and landlord, as well as Donnie and Ventress Hairston, his innocent and mistreated tenants, on August 7th, 2020, when they were subjected to multiple civil rights violations by 2 deputies with the McDowell County Sheriff's Office, Dalton Martin and Jordan Horn. Today we filed a federal civil rights lawsuit, which you can read in full at the link in the description posted at my blog, thecivilrightslawyer.com. But you can watch the footage for yourself. Before the body cams were turned on, what you need to know is that there was a complaint received that an abandoned church in an overgrown parcel of land not owned by any of these individuals apparently had 4 marijuana plants growing there among the thick brush. Crime of the century, right? The perpetrators must be one of the elderly African American residents nearby, of course. Instead of treating them as human beings, let's accuse them first thing, then mistreat, harass, and retaliate against them if they dare to get uppity or not know their place.
Is just a question, man.
Yeah, well, I get that. And so then my only question to you is your names, just so it's okay in my own heart and mind. And when I say the season we're living in, you know the season we're living in.
Y'all looking for something over here at his house?
What is it?
Y'all concerned about something over here at this house?
This house?
No, that house.
Yes.
What's the problem?
Who lives there?
Mr. Ferguson, He's probably there now. He's 79.
Okay. All right. What's your name, sir?
You can knock on the door.
Tart.
Jason Tart.
Tart.
And what do you mean by the season we're living in, ma'am?
Sir.
What do you need? You got any questions for me?
No, I'll collect some information from you in a minute, your name and date of birth and such.
What do you need my information for?
You own these two homes, correct?
What
Okay,
do these two homes got to do with that?
These
church?
two homes is near that marijuana grow, so I'd just like to have your name.
You know how many people go through here?
I understand.
That's
Well-
not going to do you one bit of good.
Okay. Well, sir, I'm going to need your name and date of birth,
I
and
don't
I have that.
feel comfortable giving you my name and date of birth.
Okay, well, this is a criminal investigation. You own these two homes, so by law, you do have to give me your name and date of birth, sir.
If he gives you a reason, yes, you do.
Reason for what?
Because of the marijuana grow.
It's not on my property.
Okay, well, again, I have reason to believe that these two homes here that you own is related to that marijuana grow, so you have to give me your name and date of birth by law. Go get a pen and piece of paper.
Reason to believe what? Why? Because these houses are here?
Yes, sir, and you own them.
May I say something?
Right. Do you understand?
People-
I was born and raised here. Do you understand that there's a lot of traffic going through here?
Since we've lived here, people come up here and they park there, and we don't know where the hell they go, and then they come back out.
I don't have a problem giving you my information. I'm just
Okay, well,
trying
that's
to
all I need.
understand what-
It doesn't have to be an argument. I mean, just give me your name and date of birth, dude. It's easy.
It's not easy. My property has nothing to do with what you found.
Okay, well, we're just making sure of that. That's our job.
How? Berwyn Land Company owns.
Okay.
Land Company owns.
Sir,
the
I
church.
don't understand why you're being argumentative about giving me your
I'm
name and
not.
date of birth.
I'm not.
It's simple.
Well, you scared me. I mean,
Scared
who
you?
says that? Who
By asking you a question,
who comes up and asks? That's crazy.
and it scared you,
I'm trying to understand what
It
these
scared
two
you by me
houses
asking you a
have to do.
question.
Growing marijuana?
and that's a question.
What does these houses on my property got? Did you find it on my property?
It's near your property.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, but I do know that they're under no obligation to assist him in his investigation. They are on their own front porch, so you have the Fourth Amendment.
To say somebody scared you because they asked you a question is ridiculous.
That's preposterous.
Go ahead and give me your name, sir.
Wait.
First name.
It's ridiculous to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's not ridiculous.
Your
to
first
me.
name.
I'm not giving you my information.
Sir, if you refuse to give me your information, I'm going to arrest you.
That's fine. My property has nothing to do with any marijuana whatsoever.
So you had criticism expressed to the officer that these individuals were scared based on his conduct. And in retaliation for that, look what is happening now. This is the treatment that you get. Not only do I want your name, but I want your date of birth. And in the charging documents, because Jason is about to be arrested here, it's claimed that he didn't identify himself, that he refused to identify himself. Well, just listen real quickly to what the arresting officer says right now.
Jason Tart, what is your date of birth? I'm going to arrest you if you don't give me your name and date of birth.
You're going to arrest me if I don't give you my name and date of birth?
It's obstructing an officer.
How?
Because you're hindering me from doing my job. You're
How
hindering me
am
from...
I hindering you from doing your
Sir.
job if it's not on my property?
Last chance to give me your name and date of birth, sir.
How am I hindering you?
It
Sir, last
appears
chance
to
give me your
me
name and
this
date of birth.
guy
How am I
has no
hindering you? Place your hands behind your
investigation
back.
whatsoever. Otherwise,
Place your hands
you'd have
behind your
a
back.
warrant when you show up there.
Are you going to give me your name and date of birth?
Take me to jail. You're right. I'm hindering you from doing your job. Please.
I'll see if I can find you my name first.
No, I'm hindering you from
This
doing your
is
job.
really going out off the
Yeah, this is how you guys.
This is bad.
This is,
112 control.
this is how you operate.
This is a rat.
I'm hindering you from doing your
That's why I
job.
needed their.
Y'all need to go inside.
Okay, let's put this in context here. There is no search warrant. There is no arrest warrant. Now, the homeowners, this officer is telling them they're standing on their porch of their house. This officer is standing down their private gravel driveway on their property and on Mr. Tart's property. And he's telling them to go in your house. That's what's happening right now. And you can see that there are attempts being made to film the police misconduct that is in progress right now. And this is after these homeowners had already expressed to this officer that they were afraid of him, and obviously rightly so. And you're about to see him force them from their front porch into their house, obviously against their will.
This is what's going on.
You two need to go inside.
You scared her.
In this
Again, you two go inside. Go inside.
I'm afraid.
Go
now,
inside.
I'll tell you the truth.
Go inside.
On my own porch?
No, go inside as of right now.
Tell me why.
Go inside.
What are you doing,
Step off
man?
the porch. Step off the porch.
I'll step off.
Go inside.
What are you doing? This is unnecessary for
Sir,
you to be
go
doing
inside.
This. He's standing on his own porch.
Go inside.
Don't come in my house.
Go inside. Step back. Go inside.
Look,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's completely uncalled for.
Come on.
Look,
Walk.
man, don't.
Walk.
Listen.
Sir,
You don't
stop.
have to listen,
You're
man.
being
Listen.
recorded.
Listen. This
Just
is
walk.
listen.
Walk.
Listen. I can walk.
towards
I
the
can
car.
walk
Okay,
without
well,
you
walk.
putting your damn hands on me.
Walk
You
to the
understand?
vehicle.
I have not broken the law.
Walk toward the
At
vehicle. Well, walk to the vehicle,
Don't
sir.
put
You're
your
being
damn
recorded.
hands on me. I give
Sir.
you no reason to touch me.
I'm going to arrest you then. Place your hands behind your back.
Uncalled for.
Place your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind
Place your hands behind your back.
Listen.
Just relax, okay?
Listen. You.
Relax.
Place your hands behind
Okay.
your back. Please place your hands behind your back.
My hand is behind my.
Place your
It
hands
only
behind-
takes one of you.
Place your hands-
Look, let him do it. All right. Take your hands off me.
That's fine. Okay.
Let him do it.
There is no room for law enforcement like this. This guy has no business wearing a badge and carrying a gun. He's a danger, and I can see why these people feel threatened by him. And we all know what she meant when she made that statement. The season.
He owns two properties right here on this Fabulous Drive road after you pass the second concrete bridge on the right. We located a marijuana grow probably not 100 foot, 50 foot from this last property of his, and he just won't give us his name, date of birth.
Male, white male, black male.
Black now.
All right, do you want to see where the marijuana was? Do you want to see it? Do you want to see how much marijuana this grow operation we're talking about? Well, you're in luck because you're about to see it. Take a look.
Just sit here. I'll go up here and collect.
I feel safer already, don't you? By the way, there never was any evidence that anyone planted that marijuana or that it even was marijuana rather than hemp, as far as I know. My clients weren't charged with any of that. There was never any indication or any evidence that pertained to the landlord or the tenants at all. Absolutely nothing. What was the only thing that Super Trooper Dalton Martin knew about these people? Well, I guess all he knew was what he could gather from looking at them. They lived in a rural area, and they had a certain skin color. Now, the only other thing he knew is that when he approached them, and I guess he expected them to sufficiently respect his aggressive authority, they instead said that they were afraid of him and questioned his authority. And instead, what did he do? He retaliated against them. And we have a First Amendment right to express criticism of law enforcement. And you can also hear from the video that at least one point, Mrs. Hairston asks him what his name is. Isn't that ironic? So he's arresting this guy. He already knows his name because allegedly he won't tell him his name and also date of birth. But he expressly refuses to give his name to the homeowner, and he's standing on her property. Instead, he mocks her about it, and he also argues with her about it. He retaliates against her for expressing that she's scared of this guy. He's supposed to be law enforcement, who's supposed to protect and serve. So what happened here? Well, to make a long story short, Mr. Tart was transported for arrest processing. He was incarcerated. He was sent to jail. And then fast forward to, when was it? October 28th of 2020. So not very much longer. Here we have the criminal charge of obstruction, which is what he was charged with, dismissed. And here's what it says. Dismissed by the court. Dismissed by the prosecuting attorney. Officer failed to appear to prosecute. So Super Trooper Dalton Martin, who spent all this time and trouble getting these 4 marijuana plants from overgrown brush behind a derelict church, didn't even bother to have the courage or the guts to show up in court and to face this guy that he charged with a crime. When in reality, this guy, Jason Tart, is retired military. He was a military police officer in the military. He has been vice president of a Department of Defense contracting firm, and he is a respected local member of the community. These people were treated in a way that they didn't deserve to be treated, that no one deserves to be treated. And we're going to seek justice here. So you can check out the entire lawsuit, read it at the blog post linked in the description at thecivilrightslawyer.com. This is filed in federal court, Southern District of West Virginia. And make sure you subscribe both here and also on the website at thecivilrightslawyer.com so that you can keep apprised of updates. So thanks for watching.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
So what you're seeing here is a video that somebody sent me that was posted to TikTok showing several police officers snooping around a house and messing with the surveillance cameras. If you've seen some of my other videos, then you know why this would interest me. Take a look.
I'm gonna beat on the backside. Just something over this camera.
So from what I understand here, this was not a search warrant situation. This is police officers are looking for somebody, and somebody told them the individual they're looking for might be at this house. The homeowner was apparently inside, didn't hear them knocking, but looked at the surveillance footage and saw the really creepy sight of the police officers covering and otherwise attempting to and disabling the exterior surveillance cameras at this house. And from what I've seen already, this has sparked debate on the interwebs between normal people and between police officers who think that they have a right to do this. Now, there are three different situations here that could change the legal rights in this sort of a situation. One is a knock and talk sort of deal where there's no search warrant at the residence that the officers are at. And my opinion absolutely is that they have no legal right to touch any of your stuff, including your surveillance cameras, without a warrant. Now, secondly, the warrant situation. It's really troubling to me that cops, even just seeing this, some of them are saying, well, that's what we do. That's standard operating procedure when we execute search warrants or execute arrest warrants. Why? Well, officer safety reasons, of course, because somebody could theoretically be inside watching the surveillance cameras and they can see how many cops there are, where they're positioned, etc., etc. My opinion is very firmly that even if there's a standard search warrant and officers arrive at the residence, that does not include disabling surveillance cameras at the residence. Why? Unless the search warrant authorizes the seizure of cameras, that would allow them to physically grab the surveillance cameras and take them down. But if not, the only possible reason that they give for officer safety reasons, if they have an officer safety situation, then they have the possibility of applying for a no-knock entry. And they're required to have to present that information to a judge beforehand to say, look, this residence is so dangerous, we believe we should be allowed to not even knock and announce, which we're constitutionally required to do. So in the absence of that sort of situation, which also can be used if there are valid exigent circumstances, then they've already acknowledged that they do not have sufficient information that executing a warrant at that residence is so dangerous that they can't even knock on the door and talk to the person first before they bust in. So if they don't have that information, they don't have sufficient information to cover the cameras, in my opinion. I'd love to see more videos of this happening. I'd love to know the jurisdiction. If this is standard operating procedure for somebody in a jurisdiction that you're aware of, let me know. Let's FOIA some information on that, because I don't believe that that's constitutional. So thanks for watching. I have a really great video that YouTube's giving me a hard time reviewing. Hopefully I can release it soon, but make sure you subscribe and keep watching, because I think you're going to like this one, and it could come out at any time. So thanks for watching. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Well, there you have it. I just wanted to share that. Just pretty bad policing there. This deputy has no business wearing a badge, and I hope that the lawsuit prevails, and I'll try to check and see if this guy's still got a job with that department or not. He shouldn't be on any law enforcement department. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting as I did, and I'm gonna put another video similar to that on the back end of this, and let's watch that and see what you think of that.